Hey, Steeple family, wanted to give you guys just an update on where we've been, what we've done for the last, 6 months, 8 months. It's been kind of a crazy season. A lot of transitions happened, and we've kind of gone dark about a lot of it. There's been some emails to people that have been using Church Phone, but we haven't really talked a ton about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and I think we're finally ready to talk about it. So let's talk. We had a product called Church Phone. Church Phone was this incredible discipleship tool made to be like a second phone number for pastors and leaders. The whole idea was you could have a separate inbox, and we would connect to your planning center, and then we'd have all these kind of CRM style functionalities within the app. Now, what is CRM? CRM is kind of like a business software term. It stands for Customer Relationship Management. What that really is from a Christian point of view, it's discipleship. When you're in sales at a company, you're trying to get customers. You're trying to then figure out what they want, what product do they want to buy. And sales teams, they use a CRM to do that. It basically manages the entire flow from them, outreach to a customer for the first time to them being, completely bought in to the product, paying for it, and being a loyal user of that product. Now, that's really what my heart was initially coming into this with Church Phone was, hey, we want to build like a CRM for discipleship around texting because that's how pastors and leaders connect. But a couple things happened towards the end of last year, and I want to highlight two of those. The first is there was a lot of regulation changes around what's known as programmable SMS, which is industry lingo for, a computer that sends a text message that isn't your phone. You didn't type it out. Some server in the cloud owned by Amazon or Google did it for us. The change was that you have to inform people that this is a programmable text and give them some kind of opt-out clause initially. So you have to go like, hey, you're getting this message, just reply stop if you don't want to receive anymore. And you've probably seen this. It's been kind of like an industry trend for a while, and it just got codified into law that all programmable SMS has to have this stop word functionality, and that when you initiate the conversation with an individual, you have to inform them of this functionality. And that breaks kind of the illusion of Church Phone. The illusion just completely, it's gone. Now, some of our people in this space, particularly around SMS marketing or even products that are kind of really similar to Church Phone, to be honest, they haven't kind of enforced these rules upon their customer base. And I'm a rule breaker, but I'm also a rule follower. I'll say it this way. I hate cultural rules. If it's not in the law and it's not a sin to break it, I'm breaking it. Okay? But if it's in the law, I'm going to try to, follow it. I'm the type of guy that if I buy a car used, I'm putting the full sale price on the purchase and sales agreement, and I'm paying the tax. That's just me. But I also will go 55 and a 35 when I'm late to work. Judge me, please. The second thing that happened is we were doing a lot of kind of internal conversations about what we wanted to be. A lot of our customers and a lot of you that are watching this really enjoyed using Church Phone. It was great. It was a mobile experience, mobile first experience, and it was an incredible tool, but there was a big push for a lot of marketing features. Now, we love marketing. Marketing is a big part of how you do business. We do marketing. This is marketing. Welcome to marketing. We don't shy away from doing marketing, but we have this problem. You see, our vision is to see 1 billion souls make it to heaven because they were discipled by people who use our products. And what we're really saying with that is that they wouldn't have made it to heaven without someone discovering that they were slipping, falling through the cracks, or needed a little bit of push, a little extra help to get across the finish line. And from that point of view, marketing was just it wasn't me. I'm not there's a lot of SMS marketing solutions out there for the church, but there wasn't any really discipleship phone solutions for the church. And we were that. And as more and more of our customers were enjoying our marketing features that we had in there and we had built them, but it was more like, hey, you can do this if you need to and if you want to while you're doing discipleship. So we had to do something. And this was probably the hardest thing that I did last year, to be honest, was to turn Church Phone off and to tell over 100 churches that were using our product, hey, it doesn't exist anymore. And church phone was something that I had been waking up almost every single, I would say 60 to 70% of the year at 4 a.m. for 4 years. I spent almost 2 years at a company, and I would spend 4 to 8 a.m. working on church phone. And then at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I would do breakfast. And then 9 a.m., I would start working for the company that I was with. I poured everything into it. There's nothing harder than killing your baby. There's nothing harder than when you've promised people like, hey, we're still going to be around, and then you're not. But we knew something needed to change. I think this is one of the harder things in business, and I'm kind of calling it vision, product, market fit. And you've probably heard of product market fit before. The thing that I hate about product market fit is that it can push you down paths where the market is sending you, but maybe you didn't want to go there. And like a classic church example at the moment is the trans flag. You know, are we going to put the trans flag up on our church? Well, the market's pushing us in that direction. We might get some more people to come if we're trans friendly, but ultimately it goes against our deep-rooted convictions of what we believe in. Like we believe the Bible is completely true and everything in it is 100% true, and there's no arguing with it. And we can't get around Romans 1. We can't get around what happened to the tribe of Benjamin or Sodom and Gomorrah. Like these are the realities that's presented in front of us. Do we change the product to fit the way that the market moves? Now, our internal vision that I shared with you, it's not to the level of this is the gospel and it's unchangeable, but it is something that I do not want to just take lightly. So we've been playing around with this a lot. Like, how do we get to a vision, product, market fit, where we have a vision, we produce a product that aligns with that vision, that also aligns with the needs of the market? You guys, churches. And out of that initially stemmed a project that we called Church Health. The thing that we were thinking about is, hey, can we take all the CRM, the discipleship functionality without the texting out of church phone, and can we stack on top of that, extra analytics, information, health score, exit projections, maybe some of these things that behind the scenes are powered by, these new buzzword technologies like AI, but are not really, we're not going loud with that. We're more just trying to build a product and a platform for the future, a product that suits tomorrow. Now, we were pushing on this for a while. We were kind of like in November timeframe, about 6 months ago is when this all kind of kicked off. It kicked off out of a conversation with a church that was really interested in understanding their backdoor, understanding why people were leaving and what was pushing them towards leaving from like a research point of view. But the light kind of struck me at that moment, like, hey, this is actually what we want. This is vision, product, market fit, and we can slap all this together. But we're gonna have to, in essence, just kind of go stealth for a little bit. We're gonna, completely disappear for a while and come out on the other side with something completely different than what we had. And maybe it works. So, blah, 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 blah. We get to this point here where we've built, I think, something really incredible. We had the big art conference this past week, and that was just super fun to be at. And it was kind of the first moment where we really were telling people about our product. Now, like, what is our product? We're calling it Steeple Works. And Steeple Works is this combination of what in the business world we call BI, business intelligence. It's a stupid acronym that basically means charts and graphs and reports. Taking data, showing it in a way that allows you to make decisions. And out of those decisions, you can impact your business. The most basic type of BI is what you guys are familiar with within the church world, a P&L, a profit and loss statement. Hey, this is our books from the last year. We took in this much revenue from giving, and we spent this much on, our salaries, on our building, on marketing, and all these other expenditures. And next year, this is what we're thinking about doing for the budget. And that's really at a simplistic level, that's what business intelligence is. But we want, church intelligence, discipleship intelligence. So it's things like, hey, who's a first-time giver? That's a common report that most churches need to run, but it's super painful to build out and to do it right. Hey, what is like our churn on our giving? Who is like serving more this month than they were last month? Who hasn't attended group this month, but did attend it last month? These kind of reports and analytics that kind of give you insights. And that's really what we're going after. Everything starts with a report and it leads into insights. We try to slim that report into something that's quickly digestible. Either we're going up and it's good, or we're going down and it's bad. We want to kind of get to that, we call it a Boolean in programming world, a true and a false. Up, good, down, bad. But once you've got kind of reports leading into insights, it kind of begs the question, just tell me what to do. This information is great, and a lot of this stuff is high level, but what do I do about it? And that's really where the CRM side, the customer relationship management, comes in, where we're thinking about, hey, how do we disciple at scale? And we previewed one of our first features built around this idea of tell me what to do. And it's called Growth Track. It's, in essence, your growth track on autopilot. We find the people for you that are doing 2 out of 3 things. Those 3 things are giving, serving on team, or going to group. The ones that are doing 2 out of those 3, we identify where they're lacking. It might be that they're inconsistent in the third, that they haven't started the third, or that they had done the third for a while and they stopped. Like I was serving on team 6 months ago, but I'm not anymore. And we give you key insights on what that person should do. For that individual that hasn't served for 6 months, maybe the action is find a new team. We then, based off of the groups and the teams that they're in, locate the best person for them to do the job. This is the leader that's going to help connect them, do that discipleship one-on-one conversation with them. But there's other options, like a text and a call, or at church, meeting in between services during that foyer flow time. Because Sunday really is game day, and I think pastors and leaders are underusing their Sunday to move people forward at an individual relationship and overusing it to move the whole flock forward. That still needs to happen, but there's so much opportunity if you know who can take a next step to make a big impact, because it's this serendipitous moment that kind of, just appears in front of you where you can take them from the place that they're at and move them to a new phase. We've got this beautiful interface for it that shows you kind of, how they're doing, and then allows you to one-click assign this to a leader, and that starts, in essence, what we're calling a touch point inside of our application. A touch point is a type of catalyst. It's a one-on-one connection of some level where this leader is going to reach out to this individual, either at church through a text or a call, or one-on-one, and they're going to prompt them down this path. It might be some of these uncomfortable topics like, hey, I see that you stopped giving, but those are healthy and important topics. They're super valuable, and I know they can be stressful, but I would rather live in an environment where the software allowed you to do that than just ignore it completely. And you can ignore it if you want to within our product, but we want to kind of give you the option to help disciple people through that. Now, after that connection's happened, we wait 3 weeks. We call this our dwell time. We're waiting and we're measuring. We're seeing if they improve, stay the same, or decline. If they stay the same or decline, they're going to go into a different list where the task, the mission is still the same, but maybe they need another nudge, some extra push coming at their direction, just something that'll help shift them and take them to that next level. Or they improved and they're going to slide right back to the top of that list, ready to work on the things that they need to. The final thing that we've got there is called a ready to lead. Ready to lead is incredible. It's people that are doing 3 out of those 3 things. It might be that they still need some improvement in one of those 3 areas, but it's an opportunity to promote. It's an opportunity to take them and go, hey, is there a group that you have in your heart? Or maybe there's a team that you're really devoted to, that you enjoy, that you want to rise up in leadership. We want to promote people that have good fruit. Fruit is a good kind of next door neighbor to character. And it's, I think, a lot easier to promote based off of fruit than gifting. I think oftentimes we're looking for character and we're looking for gifting before we're looking for fruit. And I would really like to push on, hey, let's look at fruit, let's develop character along the way, and let's discover the giftings that the Lord has put inside of people. And I really feel like it in that order. I know some incredible leaders who at the surface look like they have no gifting. They're ordinary and common, but they have great fruit. Grapefruit. They've got great fruit. And they have a character that's been developed and rubbed on and kind of pushed and molded into something that's really beautiful. Look at Peter. Doesn't look like someone that you would want to lead the church. 3.5 years later, there he is. We got to think about the long game with the people that are in our church. So all in all, to say, it's been kind of a crazy, wild ride, and we're going to be making some big splashes in the next coming months. I've got 2 exciting things that I want to announce for you guys. The first is we're going to be launching a Grow Fast webinar that's going to be hosted by myself and another campus pastor. His name is Jason Sezier. He's an incredible campus pastor up at Journey Church in Cleveland. He's been one of our partners that we've been working with deeply to kind of build this product. He's been deep in kind of the space of discipling with data and understanding that, every number has a name, every name has a face, a soul. And how do we engage people? Look at the data, not shy away from it, but engage it, but also make it personal. That we'll be announcing soon. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing is for customers, we're going to have cohorts that are going to start forming for churches that are either in a similar size or have similar goals that are going to meet monthly as well. This is going to be a smaller room. The webinar is going to be big. Could be 100, 200, 300 churches represented at the webinar. The cohorts, we're thinking 5 to 10 churches in each cohort. And that's going to be a much more personal, up close, hey, let's share some more stories, like what are you doing to grow? And when we say grow, what we really mean is taking people to that next step, growing people. We believe that if you focus on growing people, your church will grow, and it'll grow in a healthy way. Cancer grows, cancer's bad, but growth that's led by a shepherd is healthy growth, and that's kind of the growth that we're looking for. So those 2 things are going to be really incredible, the webinar and the cohorts. And we can't wait to share some more of the features and the functionality that we built again to Steeple Works. I want to wrap this up and just say that we're going to start uploading and posting video content again more frequently. The interview show will probably make a return. And I've really been kind of thinking about the nuts and bolts of how churches run, how we do things and why we do things. My analogy for this is there's people that like to watch football on a Sunday. There's people that have played football. And then there's those that just want to watch the film. They want to see the movement of the X's and O's. They don't want crazy camera angles. They want to be able to rewind the play, fast forward the play, and kind of understand the mechanics of both the offense, the defense, the minor movements, the position shifts, the adjustments made by the quarterback when he sees the defensive line. For me, I love that aspect of church. I don't know why. I love the way that things work. Looking at it, trying to understand, how does this work? How can we do it better? It's kind of like a business podcast is kind of what I'm thinking about. It's like, was this a good business decision? Like when this company did this, how did it impact their share price? How did it impact their stock value? What I'm thinking about is, hey, when you have a chorus that you're doing within your set, but you have an alternate set of chords that you can save for that chorus for later on, what lift does it produce in the room and why? When we leave, when we don't have people ready to say hello to people as they walk out of the auditorium, like what impact does that have? Like going really deep on kind of these minor little execution details that I think are really fascinating and deserve a much bigger talking. The other thing that I've been doing is visiting a lot of churches, and kind of seeing how each church does what they do. And this is a lot of knowledge that I want to share with you guys as well. Hey, this church did this, and I think it produces this fruit, and passing that along and getting to a place where we don't have to do what another church does, but we can understand when you do something, what it produces and how to reproduce that. That's a wrap, Steeple family. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.